welcome to this week's edition of the Attract Well Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, and today we are getting into creating call booking funnels or discovery call funnels. Excited to hear from you. Do you use something like this in your business currently? Let me know in the chat and let us know where you're coming in from. Excited to talk with you about how to use these, how to make the most of them in your business. I'm going to walk you through the one that I personally use and share some instances with you based on what is going on in your business and what your goals are, and give you some insights into how you can be using these more effectively. What a discovery call funnel basically is an automated means by which someone can book themselves on a discovery call with you. I'm going to go on a limb and assume that if you're on this call, you maybe already know what a discovery call is, but just to kind of rewind a tiny bit, what a discovery call is a strategic call on Zoom or phone, typically only either on Zoom or phone, where you are going to connect with someone who could be your client, ask questions, learn more about them, and really try to arrive at a place where you can decide together whether or not working with you and taking next steps, whether that be working with you one-on-one, signing up for a high-ticket program. That's usually the mix here. Or if you are a network marketer, getting started in subscription with your product. These are all use cases where a discovery call is an ideal tool to use. The only real downside to discovery calls is that they can be a big time suck if you're not using them strategically. And then, of course, as with anything that requires the coordination of two people trying to line up their availability to meet together, you can run into some snags there in terms of, just trying to make sure that you are getting a time that works for both of you without that having to take up all of your time. So what I want to walk you through today is a way that you can get that done using the Attract Well system. I am going to be, just so you know, a part of this call booking funnel that I'm going to be showing you today does utilize a third-party tool. We do have our own scheduler in production. We don't have an ETA on date. It's been on the wish list for a long time, but that is something that we are working to integrate fully into natively into the Attract Well platform. But for now, I'm going to show you how I use Calendly for this. You can use the free version of Calendly for this purpose. If you use Acuity or Schedule Once, you can book me or something similar. All of this should work as well. Feel free, by the way, if you came here today with questions, if you are interested in speaking further on this topic or others, and you'd really like some insights, we do keep some dedicated space on these calls for that purpose. But without further ado, I want to ask you guys some questions, and I would appreciate you letting me know in the chat what the answers are. So first, for prospective clients for your business, how are you connecting with them one-on-one currently, right? So how are you arriving at that conversation where you make the offer? What does that look like for you? Are you in the DMs on social media? Are you using discovery calls? Are people finding you on Google and filling out a form on your website? What does that look like for your business currently? Let me know in the chat. And while you're getting your fingers moving, you guys, I want to actually pop over to a page of my own so that you guys can actually see quite literally what it looks like to book with me. And then I want to get into how this works. All right, Melissa says personal conversations, referrals from friends and clients, and then emails and texts. Cheryl says email, text, DM, and phone calls, and a landing page on the website. In both of those cases, you guys, are you connecting with someone personally and saying, hey, let's chat, or they say, hey, I'd like to talk? How does that sort of entry into a one-on-one, how does that get teed up in your business? Also, Melissa, I'm familiar with your business. Cheryl, tell me as well what kind of business you have, so we can talk about that with greater specificity. All right, Melissa says usually referral, then they call or text me. And then you probably then set up a time that you can actually sit down together. You're making an appointment at that point, right? All right. Cool. All right. So this, the beauty of using a system like this is that it helps you scale. You still get to take calls and work with people one-on-one, and just FYI, you can use this exact same system for your clients to book with you as well. This eliminates the need for you to have an administrative assistant, for instance, who books your calls for you. Like that used to happen back in the day. And you definitely don't have to do the email back and forth trying to figure out what works. So let's see. All right, so I'm just going to show you this here. Now, just for context, this particular landing page is one that offers an opportunity to sit down with me. Someone probably already knows because they follow my our content on our other YouTube channel for our platform Get Oiling. They probably already know that I know a lot about things that they maybe don't know about yet. They know that they're looking for a way to kind of, shorten their path to getting to where they want to go. And they reached out to our team who says, hey, but I need a little bit more than just like a VA or this or that. I need like the whole strategy. Do you guys do that? They're like, yes, here you go. And they arrive right here, right? That's the context here. So somebody basically already knows a little bit about me, a little bit about what I know, and a little bit about what I can do for them. Now, you should have your people arriving at the front door of your discovery call funnel the same way. Now, you're probably not a consultant working inside of a software enterprise, right? That's fine. No matter what it is that you do, people are going to need to find this page with context. That's the main point. And the context for your business is probably going to look like a conversation that you have in the DMs on social, where you say, I'd love to talk with you about this further. Why don't you book a call? This could be at the end of an email. It could be in the signature line of your emails. Hey, are you looking for a way to ... hop on a call? If you're following the client funnel challenge, which is attractwell.com/CFC, you can actually get the whole rundown of an entire funnel that doesn't just get them onto calls with you, but you also get, scripting and things like that to run your discovery calls and close people onto your programs. Just to drop that there. Let me put that into the comments here, just in case you guys don't know about it. CFC is the link. There we go. So, so this is something you'll actually find in detail inside of that free course. So I definitely recommend that you grab it. But people need to arrive at this page with some idea already as to what you can do for them. Because when they come here, they know that they want to talk with you. And they know that your time is valuable. That's a really important thing. So I actually like to phrase this as apply for a call. Right now, if you're offering this on the other side of, a landing page, and you could just say, book a discovery call. I would say maybe call it something other than discovery call or strategy session. I'm calling this a game plan call, but they're still applying for a call with me because the pretext here is that if your business doesn't fit a certain set of criteria, we're probably not a fit to talk further. And I want to honor your time and mine, right? And that positions you with posture in such a way that you have better outcomes on your calls and your time is just better spent. So when people click, let's do this, we now have a form. Now, this is a page inside of your Get Oiling system. So if I go over here to pages, and I believe this is apply. No, I call it strategy on the backside. There we go. So strategy call landing page. So this is a page inside of the platform, and under settings and leads, I've got all of my questions here that you see here. So in this case, this particular offering that folks sign up for, they are a Young Living brand partner because that's what our Get Oiling platform serves. They're interested in getting specific things done. I want to give them an opportunity to tell me what it is that their goal is. Like, why is it that they want to sit down with me? Then you want to ask some questions about where they're at in their business. So I'm asking what their current brand partner rank is, of course, because they're a distributor and a network marketing company. I want to know where they are in the broader context and what their goals are. For you, this could be, if you're asking wellness questions, you could be asking, how long have you been dealing with this? What would you like for life to look like? Things like that. Oh, and sorry, I actually put that to host and panelists. Sorry about that, Carrie. That is attractwell.com/CFC. And now I am actually going to send it to everyone. There you go. Okay, so ask questions and think about the things that you would want to ask someone on a call, but you're going to save yourself the time of asking these questions, being redundant on those calls. You're going to get them out of the way in the first place, because there are some things you really need to know going into your calls, such as what is their baseline situation, whether that's their wellness, whether that's their finances, their MRR, whatever it is that you do and the metric is that you help someone with. You need to know where they're at, where they want to be, what they've tried, right? What it will cost for them to not get this fixed. And, on a scale of 1 to 10, and I always use this question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how prepared are you to invest emotionally, mentally, and financially in your business to reach your next big goal? Replace business with whatever your metric is. If it's wellness, right? If it's financial wellness, however it is that you're working with someone, ask these questions. So, and then of course, if there's anything else you'd like to know. So have a questionnaire that gives you a full picture of who they are, where they are, and don't be afraid to posture here, because this is someone who is requesting your dedicated one-on-one time, and that's worth something, a lot, right? Okay, so after somebody submits the information on this form, we're going to come over here to this page. So this page will redirect to this page. There's a campaign that is attached to this page, and you can actually see that here under leads. There is this campaign right here that says Get Growing Game Plan Call. It's going to send them an email. Now, the email is going to take them over here to this page. Now, does anybody want to take a stab at why I don't go from here, this page, to my calendar? Anybody? This is an important question. It's something that I want to make sure, if you are doing things like this, that you understand this. If you want to take a guess, go ahead. It's really important that you use a confirmation page. If you're giving away a freebie, but gosh, especially if you're giving somebody a link to your literal calendar. Now, the reason for this is you want to protect the integrity of your list, and you don't want riffraff, right? So the fact is that somebody could go to this page, fill all this out, and put a bunk email address in here. And if the page that you go to next is your freebie, then you completely wasted all of your time and effort on creating that page, because the whole purpose of creating this is to get a lead, right? Is to get a good lead into your system. So make sure that you've got that correct. So on this next page, we say, make sure we've got the email address here, then go check your email. Now, if they don't get the email, then they can certainly see that this is the email address to reach me at, so they can go and email me. And then of course they can, I can make sure that they've got their information in the system correctly. And now that's a lead. We're talking, right? That's important. All right. So then they come over here and they book. This is where Calendly comes into play. Again, you can use free the free level of Calendly. I'm not as familiar with the other ones. I personally use a paid plan because I really like being able to redirect to a final page after they've booked their call. But this is the flow of what it looks like. They fill out the form on the landing page. They're redirected to a thank you page that says, go check your email. The email sends them to this link to book a call with me. After they're done selecting their date and time, they put in their information, they schedule the event. It's going to take them over here. They've got the email that goes out from Calendly. They've got the the calendar thing, if you want to pop it into your calendar, because that's how I have it set up. And so now I have this information. So I see somebody's booked me. Great. Now I can go over here to my, and actually here, let's do a test run of this here real quick. So I'm going to put this in. And bear with me here for just a second. And I'm just going to just test this out. I'm going to show you where you can actually go into your system and see all of the answers to this, so that when you have your discovery calls, you can actually go in prepared with all of your notes. There we go. So I'm redirected here, and I'm going to get an email that tells me to go here. But let's go look at this real quick. If I go to my dashboard, here is me. I just visited the website a few seconds ago. Perfect. And now you see this note right here under past actions. When I click this, I can see all of the answers to these questions. So when it comes time for me to have this discovery call, all of this information is right here. Nothing is redundant. Everything is good to go, which is pretty exciting. All right. So let me see. Does anybody have any questions so far? It's pretty straightforward, and there's templates for a lot of this stuff inside of the Client Funnel Challenge. Awesome. Good, good, good. Glad you like it. And in terms of creating context, a couple of things I want to share with you guys, because this isn't the only way that I've ever had these, and I do create these for clients depending on their business or practice. So ranging everywhere from business coaches to financial advisors, to, especially because I've worked with a whole lot of holistic practitioners, this is a really great way for you to more or less put the value proposition out there that you're able to help someone first, right? It's that pay it forward idea, which is something that you can do with a lead magnet, right? This is a great reason to create a little freebie, put it in your, put it into a funnel, put the funnel link into your link in bio on Instagram and post away, right? That's cool. It's passive. Your most interested leads, your most likely to convert now leads, your hottest leads, are going to be people who are probably ready to have a conversation right now, right? If they're just kind of browsing, then maybe they can follow you on social and eventually get interested enough, or not, right? But what you're able to do here is create an opportunity for the people who are the most interested right now to ask their buying questions and get on a call with you. Or if you've got a team that you run these calls with, you can do that right away. Now, how do you create that value proposition, right? Because what we don't want to do is to put this out there so that people are like, oh yeah, I'm ready for you to sell to me, because that's not really what people are thinking about when they are looking for answers to their questions. It's where the conversation is headed, right? To like making a decision, making a sale in your case. But what we're really wanting to do first is to meet them where they are so that they can see the value that we can continue to add to their life, right? So I've done this in a couple of different ways. So there's a business consultant that I worked with for years who worked with holistic practitioners. And what we would do is offer one of these apply for a call things at the end of a webinar, right? So she ran Facebook traffic to a webinar. We did the webinar live twice a month, but she ran it as a replay otherwise. This was back before those weird like faux live webinar things became a thing. I don't like those. I don't know. Do you guys like those? I feel like they make, I don't want to get too far into that. Some people really like them. I don't want to poo-poo on it too hard. I think they're fine if they're done well. I think it's better if we call it a replay, because if that's what it is, right? Otherwise it's kind of tricky, right? If it's not really live and we're like, we're live, but you're not, it's kind of dishonest, right? Anyway, I've been around this space for so long that I kind of have a weird thing about that. So anyway, back to the point. We'd have these webinars, and then she would say, stay tuned till the end. And I've got a special thing that I'm going to make available to you that you're not going to get anywhere else. And so what she would say is we're offering these calls. I forgot exactly what we called them, but they were focus sessions or something like that, where we would put our heads together. We'd get sort of an audit of their business. Here's kind of what's going on right now. And then you're going to walk away from the call with absolute clarity on the next two things that you need to do to start filling your practice with new clients, right? That was the promise, right? The promise is we're going to sit down together, and you are, by the time we're done with our call, you're going to walk away with two things that you can do next to be able to get this result that you want, in this case, filling up a holistic practice with clients, right? And so people signed up. Absolutely. They're like, yeah, I want that call. I can't figure out how to get people to pay attention in my posts on social. Like, people don't understand what I do. And so they would apply. We would screen, of course, because we knew that we were doing high ticket offers, right? So, the higher ticket offer was about $5,000. There was another one that would run, sometimes it was about $2,300. And then we had an absolute downsell that was $500. And so if somebody was like, I'm just getting started, I am absolutely strapped, I'm kind of a 5 out of 10, we would recommend that they go check out a free training, right? We'd say, thank you for applying. Thank you for taking the time. We want to be sensitive of your time. This is a call that's designed to see if you're a fit to work with us one-on-one. So I think you would get a lot of benefit out of this thing here. Right. So if you're positioning this as an apply for a call, then you also have that way to sort of divert when you know that someone is probably not a good fit for you. Right. And you can offer them something that is a benefit to them that is free or low cost or something like that without you having to get on that call. And if you're running traffic on the front end of this, then you definitely want to have something like that in place. Otherwise, you are very likely paying someone on your team a whole lot of money to be on these calls that they're just not going to close because the leads aren't good. Right. So you can use this as a lead filtration system. Now, another really great way that I love to use this is like for network marketers or coaches, for instance, who are very active on social. So if you are always loving to post about your DIYs or, you know, your super Instagrammy, pretty clean, immaculately, impossibly clean house or whatever, then you can say, I offer consultations that help you figure out the 3 things you can do every day in 15 minutes that'll keep your home peaceful, you know, a peaceful sanctuary. And so for the people who are drooling over your Instagram photos, they're like, yeah, I want to know what that is. And so you say, click the link in bio. They go to the link in bio and they apply for this call. And so on that call, you would say, you know, what's your number one goal you know, with why do you want to turn your house into a sanctuary? What's your main gig? Do you love what you do? What do you do for yourself? What does your self-care look like? If you're like actually offering, let's say you're a Young Living brand partner and you're offering like natural products on the back end, for instance, then you want to have those questions out of the gate, like, you know, how do you feel about your wellness scale of 1 to 10? How do you feel about your stress scale of 1 to 10? What have you tried to do about these things? What have you invested in? What's worked for you? What hasn't? Those kind of questions. And then they get on the call with you and you've already really opened up because they've answered all those questions. They're now seeing you as someone who can help them, right? And after, like, this whole thing creates this phenomenon because they have to apply. They have to really kind of open up and answer these questions. And now going into the call, you are best equipped to help them make the best decision. If that's choosing from multiple offerings that you have or choosing to work with you at all, whatever that looks like. So that's just 2 examples. And then of course you've seen mine as well, which is really, I would say ours is a content strategy first, right? Because we've got loads and loads, hundreds and hundreds of hours of videos on our YouTube channel. It's for a very, very specific person. They get to know me through that. They start to understand that this is someone, if they feel like they're a fit for me, then they will reach out. And in this case, they aren't reaching out to me directly. They're reaching out to our team because we're a company. And then they're like, how do I work with her? And then they send them that link and then we figure out if it's a fit, right? So lots of different options here. So who would like to go through how something like this could work in your business? I feel like the context is incredibly important here. And you knowing how you could position what you offer on the back end, knowing what it is that you ultimately want to get paid for, how can you offer something that is enticing enough to get someone onto a call with you? Raise your hand for me if you would be interested in that. I already see you, Cheryl. There we go. Your hand is up for this purpose, right? I'm sorry, I didn't see if you had your hand up already. Let me know. Okay. Hello.
Hi there. I'll try this with you.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So what? Tell me about what you offer.
Yeah, we talked a while back, and I have become certified as a hypnotherapist. I've been doing one-on-ones for people I know and wanting to build a business, but also big on Young Living and a brand partner and wanting to build that. So I knew I needed an organizing tool. And so I've been working with Get Oiling and now redoing my website because you gave me great advice last time. So with hypnotherapy, I mean, I probably have to have 2 discovery funnels, one for the Young Living maybe, and one for hypnotherapy. And I recognize that someone to talk about and make decisions about hypnotherapy is going to be more steps in the marketing process and understanding enough to make the decision. Does that give you enough background?
Yes. Now tell me who your person is that you would like to attract into your business.
Yes, you helped me with that too. I particularly love working with women, educated, over age of 40 probably or higher, who are open to alternatives. Instead of alternative health, maybe it's integrated health is a good term to connect with regular medical, and particularly working with women who have breast cancer and how they can get through that process back to some kind of normalcy, including the hypnotherapy would help them with surgery, stress. Oils obviously have multiple options there.
Okay. So then tell me of these women, and let's just focus on, we'll be general here. For this woman, what would you say if you were just to ask her, if you were like man on the street, with a microphone, and she's just walking by, if you were to ask her what her biggest struggle is, what do you think her words would be? Like, what are you like? What's the thing that you're working on right now to fix? Or what is maybe your resolution for the new year or something like that?
That's a great question. You always have great questions to get to that good stuff. I pick that market because I've been through all this, and I understand that person, a professional woman juggling so many things. So, and then you get a crisis that comes along, like cancer or job change. Okay, so what do I think people would say? Probably stress, probably how to manage keeping all the balls up in the air, how to deal with life when a crisis hits you.
Okay. So she wants, does she know that she doesn't manage stress well?
I think people know when they're stressed and want a solution. And I think that's the market I'm looking for, a professional woman, an educated person. So yeah, everybody talks about stress, but how do you manage it? So
what do you
I'm
think
stressed.
She wants? What do you think? I'm sorry. What do you think she wants life to look like on the other side of stress?
Yeah, good question. Word of flow comes to mind. That things are clicking, doors are opening, life is flowing. You don't feel overwhelmed or lost or stuck.
Okay. And what do you feel? Because it sounds like she's probably somebody who has tried something before. What do you think that she thinks is standing in the way of her getting this figured out?
That could be so many different things. It depends on the person. I don't want to work with somebody who's a victim that says everybody else is my problem. What I'm looking for is someone who's looking for has self-awareness, wants to develop growth, is open to new ideas, has tried everything else and didn't work. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now let's go a little bit out of the sort of symptom profile here. The colors, right? Like do you know the personality colors?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't delved into it too deep.
Okay. But given what you know, what do you think her primary colors are? Her personality colors?
Help me remember again.
Sure.
Blue.
So red is the more dominating, the executive,
Got it.
a leader, but out of balance can be a little too harsh. Blue is the life of the party. Out of balance is very disorganized, but this is also a very creative person, very fun to be around. They wear bright colors. They tend to be fashion forward, but not in the pulled together way as a red, but in a everything is leopard print and neon, right?
Got it.
The green person is an engineer mind. This is someone who loves spreadsheets and systems and feels very comfortable with details. Out of balance, a green is someone who never actually takes the first step because they overanalyze or maybe self-doubt. A yellow is, I think, sunshine. These are happy people, loving people, servant-hearted people. Out of balance, I think similarly can carry a good deal of self-doubt and could, sort of feel a little bit like a welcome mat sometimes.
Got it. Thank you for the reminder. I'm looking at, that's interesting. I'm looking at blue because I am one.
Okay.
And I know the tricks and things I need to do to get myself to take action. And what all the systems and things I have in place to make me productive. Also, it's interesting. I relate to multiple ones. Not so much red, although I think they need this in some way, but they may not be self-aware enough to change. Yellow, who wouldn't want to be yellow? I think that's when you say, what would life look like? Hey, yellow.
Right. Yeah. So, so what I want to encourage you to do with that framework of sort of looking at personality categories is absolutely consider what your own is, because that's how you communicate. And especially in the early stages of this offering in your business, you're going to connect with like-minded people a lot more readily than people who are very different from you. So
I'm an expert also in Myers-Briggs, but I think that's getting passe, isn't it? Or is it still hot?
No, I have a Gen Z teenager, and those kids are very, very interested in Myers-Briggs. I don't know. Maybe it's just mine to TikTok thing. I don't know.
I am so schooled in Myers-Briggs. Okay. That one I can teach. So
excellent.
Okay, great.
So have an idea. I mean, Myers-Briggs is an even more thorough framework, of course, and I think it's more, it's more applicable to the to the actual work that you do. But use these frameworks to kind of think about the emotional tenor of how you're coming across. Because when we say, hop on this power hour call with me and we're going to roll up our sleeves and figure out the next best thing that you can do right now to banish stress so that you can invite more fun into your life. Now that's what you're going to add. You're going to say invite more fun into your life for someone who has blue priorities, right?
Yeah.
But for someone who is maybe yellow out of balance, perhaps maybe this is somebody who, so we're going to help you invite more, so we're going to help you get clear on what your next steps are so you can start to prioritize yourself. That's a message for a yellow, right? A message for a red might be something like, let's figure out what your next step is so that you can get this stress out of the way so you can take on the world. Right?
Very good. Oh, great direction. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm clicking with it.
Okay. Yeah. So just, I think one of them, if there was a way that I could have just summed that up maybe a little bit more quickly, apologies, is take a moment. You've got a sort of clinical view of your avatar in a way. It's not truly clinical for those of you who actually have clinical practices, but like
it's technical language. Yeah.
But we do want to add that third dimension of the whole human human emotional capacity there, because that is like, it's that emotional mind that causes her to even seek you out and to say yes to a call like this, or to purchase at all, is, no matter how analytical she is, it is the emotional outcome that she's buying. So, so be attuned to the emotions that this person is probably wrestling with, and the ones that they really want to be experiencing more of, as you're saying, this is the value proposition I'm putting in front of you.
It's excellent, because as we become practice and our expertise in something, we want to, like hypnotherapy or whatever, we want to use the technical language, and we've got to bridge that gap. So this is perfect.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, if she were finding you from a directory of hypnotherapists, then I think that there would be a great deal of value in, in using the technical language when you talk about who you help. But that's not, I mean, you could do that, but it's not the most effective way to get found, especially if you really want to have the volume and management and growth of your practice really not left to chance, right? You don't want a yellow pages strategy, which is basically what that is. But we can really grow inside of a fishbowl of our choosing. And if you're clear on who those fish are on all the levels, then you can really build something incredible. And you could always grow the bowl. You just got to get big in the fishbowl first.
Go to Hobby Lobby and get a bigger bowl.
So, yeah, get a bigger bowl. Get a bigger bowl.
I love it.
And pretty rocks
I really,
in it.
truly, I truly think this is where I've struggled without getting a response, as I'm at, and that's what marketing is about. You got to start where they are and connect.
That's right.
And I'm still struggling to connect. So excellent.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Do you have any other questions?
No, I'm good. Thank you for the great talk through.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome to do it again anytime. All right, who is next? Who wants some context? How are we going to position your discovery call? What is somebody going to get out of sitting down with you? Who's brave? Who wants to do this? Raise your hand and we will chat. And if you have something like this in place and you don't feel like you're getting the results that you want, we can talk about that too. And if nobody wants help with that, then we can definitely move into any other kind of walkthrough or help that you guys are looking for today. And just to reiterate, because I think some of us just came on a little late on the call, if you want to have the full, if you want to see where this sits inside of an entire strategy that is inside of the Client Funnel Challenge, it's attractwell.com/CFC. And there's templates in there as well. And I show you how to do all the stuff, and it's free. And if you're a Get Oiling user, the templates work the same. Just swap out the name Attractwell for Get Oiling in the link. All right, Carrie, let's talk.
Hi.
Hi. All right. So what are you going to offer on your discovery call?
I guess I'm going to offer a yoga class. I don't know. Yeah, I think a yoga class, like a class that would work for them. So talk to them about maybe what they're going through and what poses would be helpful for them, I think.
Okay. So like a private class?
Yes, but like more of a demo.
Okay.
So not like a full class, kind of like talking through these poses would be really nice for you. And maybe not even necessarily just a yoga class, but like off the mat practices too. And it might be nice for you to do some meditation and what's your exercise and diet look like. So kind of just the whole basic yoga
coaching.
On and off.
Yoga
Yes.
coaching.
Yes.
Okay. So we want to be really clear on what it is that you're offering, right? So I think that for the effort that goes into this and the way that it's positioned, this really works best if what you're ultimately going to be offering is something that either has a residual component, so that would be getting them onto product. I know you've got a residual component available, or something that's like high ticket. So ideally $1,000 or more. or a commitment to, again, something ongoing. So this could be a series of sessions with you for $1,000. This could be a high ticket program you offer. This could also be working with them, because I know you're a Young Living brand partner. This could be working with them on implementing these strategies over the course of 6 months or however long, and you get their commitment and you help them set up their orders, because it has that residual component. I would consider looking at what you do, or positioning what you do as something that's a little bit more like yoga coaching, because you've got so much opportunity to really fill out the value there. So maybe you offer a series of one-on-one sessions where you help them customize a yoga routine. You meet via Zoom. You get a background on sort of what's going on with them, their wellness, maybe what their physical limitations are, what's their diet, because I know you've got some Ayurveda like kind of wrapped into what you're familiar with as well, and you've got the essential oils and Young Living products. So you could basically customize a strategy for them to follow for 6 weeks or however long, and they get on a series of one-on-one calls with you. And so that way you're actually able to incorporate these different things that you offer, but you're also able to sell it, right? At a price point that's really worthy of the time for you. So I would think about that. And then once you're super clear on what that is, then think about what does it do for that person, right? So, oh my goodness, I've actually never heard of a yoga coach. And I think this is a really exciting idea, because I would want one, right? For somebody who doesn't have a home practice, it's COVID right now. So kind of everybody has to have a home practice. Maybe they don't feel very confident going to classes in their area, or maybe they don't have or like the classes that are in their area. And so they could get access to, I know you've done some Zoom ones, right?
I have, and I do have clients that I go to their house or they come to me, and I'll do one-on-one classes. And usually the first time they meet with me, I have them do the 28 to Elevate challenge.
Perfect. Yeah. So you can really position yourself as a yoga informed consultant, wellness consultant, because that really is what you are. And so if somebody's going to hop on an hour-long call with you, they're going to fill out a form that is going to ask questions about their wellness goals, of course. You're going to learn a little bit about their familiarity with yoga if you're going to incorporate asanas into this. You're going to find out what kind of things they've tried to solve that problem, what they want life to look like what is this problem keeping them from being able to be, have, feel, do. And then of course, the way that you're positioning this kind of depends on the person, right? So the person that you want in your business, they want to feel how, they want to overcome what, and then what's on the other side of it. And so that's going to be the value proposition. So when you think about your person that you really want to be attracting and working with in this way. So this is somebody who is maybe meeting with you twice a month or once a week or something like that, live via Zoom, and they're following a protocol that you set for them. So this is the asana practice I want you to follow, watch these videos. We'll do some of it together. Here's the dietary recommendations, and then here's the supplement recommendations or something like that. If you were to put something together like that you're offering to someone, who is the type of person that you would most want to work with?
I'd want to work with someone, a female, preferably a mom, between 35 and 55 years old. Someone who's just, hasn't really committed to any form of exercise, hasn't found anything they've liked. And I like to say just wants to be in get out of their mom jeans and feel good.
Okay. What are the reasons why she has not figured out what her routine is? Does she not have time to go to the gym? Is she self-conscious about going? What's her reason for not figuring this out already?
Probably being too busy, whether she's suffering from she's a stressed out person, maybe type A personality, or although I would say type A's usually find a way to fit it in most of the time. um, suffering from either stress, anxiety, or, mental wellness, doesn't really have good self-love for themselves and doesn't make themselves a priority.
Okay. So you're going to, on a call, you're going to sit down with mom and show her maybe maybe one or two things. I wouldn't make it a big thing because she's got too much going on. You're going to walk away with one thing that you can do each day to start to feel like yourself again, right? Or to or to rediscover your confidence, or to finally feel like things are falling back into place, or something like that, right? Because she's it sounds like she may feel emotionally sometimes on the brink. She probably knows that there was a time when she felt better about herself, and that's why she's interested in doing things that might make her feel better. So you're going to invite her to discover herself again. But you're going to make it really simple for her. So we're going to start with one thing, and girl, we're going to sit down and we're going to hash this out, and you're going to walk away with just one thing. We're going to keep it real simple. You're going to walk away with something that you can do every day to start transforming your results. And when she's on that call with you, you're going to look through all of those questions that she's answered on the form, and you'll be able to ask more informed questions. And actually, there is, in the last module of the Client Funnel Challenge, I have a discovery flow template there, like a call flow, where you can actually see what a conversation flow looks like on a successful high ticket discovery call, where you can actually, hear the types of questions you answer here. Here's how we transition into this next, series of questions, and so on, so that you're actually really able to maintain that emotional connection in that arc, moving toward a conclusion on a call like that. But yeah, I would again, I'd position it as, we're going to sit down for 30 minutes. I think in your case, because this is a mom who doesn't have time, so we're going to sit down for 30 minutes. You're going to have a little bit of pre-work to do ahead of the call. Just do it whenever you can. That's fill out this information, or maybe she will have done it already when she applied. And then, yeah, you're going to, it'll be a fun and upbeat call. She needs a cheerleader. Get her social media links. Have them share the social media links so that you can actually go and see her, so that when you come to the call, you can really be edifying her and acknowledging her. And then, yeah, then you're following through, and then you're positioning, hey, so here's, does this seem like something that might be a fit for you? Here's the thing, let's get you started. But I would, obviously first start, and in the Client Funnel Challenge, you can do this, outline what it is that you'll offer. And that will, that'll give you a clearer picture. Because if it's like, I wouldn't offer a yoga class from a discovery call, right? Because a yoga class is a really low barrier to entry. It's low investment. They're going to do it or they're not. But what you really want to be proposing is something that's a little bit more like coaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you had shown earlier that there's a page for the strategy call, is that something that's included in that, the challenge that you were talking about, that we could download and it'll come up to our Get Oiling website?
So are you talking about like the apply for a call?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like
that's actually. Mm-hmm.
I have the wellness call one that you had done, and it just poof was on my website, and then I updated it and stuff. Is this kind of the same thing?
I think so. Yeah, though it would be similar. I mean, all it is a page. And then if you go into the lead form where you would have them put in their name and email, you can just customize that to add whatever questions that you want. And that's actually, Cheryl, that should answer your question here as well. So when you're creating that questionnaire, all that is a page, and that is where they apply for a call with you. And so you just create a page in your site, and here, I'll go back and share that again one more time so you guys can see it. Let me see if I can get back to it. Yeah, just a second. Yeah, so you just create a page like this. There's nothing else here. I don't even have like a header or a footer here. And then this, on this page, this is hashtag lead is the link on the button, and that will bring up the lead form.
How often do you promote that?
I actually, for me personally, I don't promote this because my time is very limited and I don't work with a whole lot of people one-on-one, and it is a significant investment. And so I really this is something like people need to show up and like go to the right place and say, this is what I'm looking for. And they're like, oh yeah, this person needs to talk to Ashley. And then this link gets sent to them. In your case, I would have this displayed a lot more prominently. Like I was mentioning earlier, maybe put yours in your link in bio, and then have, your posts on social, maybe talking about like testimonials from people that you've helped. And you could say, I'd love to sit down with you and help you figure out the next thing that you could do to, help feel like you're getting your groove back. Click the link in bio and apply for a call with me. And so you'd be promoting that, just like you would promote anything else in your Insta. You could put it in your really any social, to have that discovery call. And then of course you could put it in, I'll show you an example. I think Jackie might be on this call as well. Star pupil. Jackie has this featured pretty prominently on her website as well. Under Work With Me, she has a wellness consult right here. And you see it's very similar. And this is, just a general wellness consult. What she's offering on the back end is Young Living. But, again, the same strategy could be used for high ticket coaching, really, really, really good for coaching. And if you do group coaching or programs, again, ideally, just for your efforts, for the amount of time you would have to spend on calls with people, I definitely recommend that you, stick to something that's at least $1,000 in terms of an offer. If you're using this, unless you have a residual component like network marketing.
Mm-hmm. And would that $1,000 be for like 3 months or something like that? Or
Depends. It depends on what you want to do. I think $1,000 for 3 months, if a significant amount of it is leveraged, right? Where you've got, videos inside of a vault, that kind of thing. I see actually quite often graduates of like IIN, for instance, health coaches will have a similar kind of pricing, and their programs tend to be 3 months, 90 days.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I do have that wellness plan page that's similar to this, that has all the questions. That's great. So I feel like I'm a little ahead, but I wasn't promoting it at all on my website because I guess I didn't really have a vision in there for this yoga coaching that you're talking about. So it sounds like it makes more sense.
Yeah, I think it's a powerful way to position what you do. I don't think it's going to fundamentally change a lot of what you do on the back end, except you would maybe have more private clients, which I'm sure would be nice, right? So they could even be virtual. So if you're positioning, because I know you're doing yoga, you're offering classes, you've got Young Living, and you've got all of this educational stuff, why not position working with you as sort of their coach or their consultant on their wellness goals? Like that would be a great way to position what it is that you do. So again, you don't necessarily have to say it's $1,000. You could also say, if I were, and this is for those of you who are also brand partners or network marketers, you could say, if I were to offer this as a coach, it would be an X dollar investment, something big, because it's a lot of my one-on-one time. But because of the nature of how my business is set up, if I am working with you and helping you to be successful in using the right products to unlock your wellness goals, then it's worth every penny for me, that I would have otherwise charged, and you're getting a great deal. All you've got to do is get started with the products and we keep you on a plan. How does that sound? Right. And so you could actually position your network marketing product in lieu of coaching. Right. So you can say, if you weren't buying product, I would have to charge this. But since it's it is my job, it is my business to be sharing these products, then, you're going to get me as a bonus with the products. So you could also position it that way as well.
I kind of do a little of that. Like, for instance, the abundance challenge is one of the things that I work with Grow Workspace, and I'd like to try to do in January. So usually I'll do that one. And offer, just grab the bottle of abundance essential oil and you can have access to that.
There you go.
To kind of just get them in.
Yeah, that's a great way to run challenges, right? The cost of admission is just make sure you're using the product because we're all using the same product.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you definitely.
So much. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we've got just a little bit more time left. If anybody else would like to come out and talk. Jackie, you asked, is she talking about offering a lead magnet of recommended poses or talking about using a funnel to get ongoing clients? So actually what I was suggesting for her, Jackie, was that instead of using a discovery call funnel to try to get someone to take a yoga class, which is, I mean, I don't know. I've lived in New York City and I haven't seen a yoga class more expensive than $90. And that's like a really special yoga class, like on a rooftop somewhere, with some guru trainer. So what I was suggesting is that she position yoga and everything that she has access to resource wise with wellness as coaching. And that she use this discovery call funnel to offer a way to work with her, whether that be actually charging for a coaching program with a client, or to position coaching, but the form of payment is you just got to buy the products I recommend, because network marketing is awesome like that. Awesome. I'm glad that makes sense. All right. You guys have any other questions? Anything else you would like to see or go over before we get going? Cheryl, we can create surveys on Get Oiling pages. Currently, as I am filming this right now, there is not a way to export survey data in the same way that you would if you were using a dedicated survey platform. Creating these kind of custom forms on your Get Oiling site or your AttractWell site, these are going to be things that you want to use for purposes like I'm going over here today, where it's more of a one-on-one. You're using the data for more one-on-one purposes, as opposed to trying to analyze the data as a set, because we don't really have data set tools for analysis as it stands right now. It is on the wish list. Got a lot of things on the wish list, and only one man with a magic wand who is off with family early with the holidays. We will be back, however, next week, same time, 2 o'clock Eastern on Thursday, and we will be going over our app some more. We're going to be talking about how you can send and manage push notifications and use the AttractWell app to get more engagement in your vaults, better client outcomes, and so on. Let's see, is there a template? I'm trying to remember if there is a template. Okay, I think, pretty sure we did one for Grow Workspace, but really all it is if you go into create a page, all you're doing is just you're adding the questions and the types of questions that you want. Let me just go ahead and show you here real quick, because it's going to vary widely based on your business and the questions that you want to ask. But I'll show you I'll show you how I have this one set up. Go back. Okay, here we go. Okay, so all I have here, I have a logo up here in the corner. It's just right. Oh, sorry, you guys. I don't know about you. I really prefer using the advanced editor. Okay, I like this better. I'm used to it. I prefer it. You could do it differently. This is what I do. So I simply have a section here where I've got the logo in the top left. You could do this, or you could just simply you could enable your header, show header and menu on the page, and you don't need to do this. Because I don't use this Get Oiling page or this Get Oiling site of mine for anything other than this purpose and working with my one-on-one clients. I don't keep a menu on there. So I just have this here for that purpose. Then I have 2 identical sections just to kind of add some branding, some pretty stuff to the page. And then this is a 2 section here. So that's a photo on the left, text on the right. So it's this guy right here. All right. Swapped my picture out with a picture there. Let them know what they're going to get out of this call. And then here's the button. The button has a link, and the link is #lead. Now, what that does is on this page, it will pop up the lead box. Now you set up your lead box up here in settings. You go to leads, scroll down, and you've got your lead capture fields. So let me zoom in on this just a little bit. Always, always you want a name. Obviously, you also want an email address. You can choose to have phone here or even require it. Because I don't call my leads. We only get on Zoom calls or clients. We only use Zoom and email. I don't add this here. So then I ask, what's the one thing you most want to accomplish on our call together? That's a long text. So here, let me show you what the difference is on these. So long text gives you this large box. Short text gives you these smaller boxes, right? Here's this, what's your current brand partner rank? What's your current, okay. So that's a drop-down list, pick one, and then you can edit the list, right? You create the list there. Let's look at another one. There's a checkbox one here when looking at where you are, which one fits you best. That one is done, okay. That is a list, pick multiple, and you can edit that list. And then there's drop down list here. And so that's how you set up a form like that. And then of course, just like you would for a regular landing page in any other instance, you want to have a button label. You want to have some text here, call to action, fill out the form below. And then of course you want to send them to a campaign in their email that will send them the booking page. And then you want them to have a tag, and then you want to reroute them or redirect them to a confirmation page and not the booking page, please. Because that is, like I mentioned earlier, not good for your email list cleanliness, or it's not the good word for it. Anyway, it's protect the sanctity of your email list. You invest a lot in building an email list, and you will over time, and it's your most valuable asset in your business if you are a business that operates online. So protect it, keep it clean. Okay, where is the picture on the right and text on the left button? So Carrie, let me show you that real quick in the page builder. If you hover between sections, you see this little plus sign here. When you click that, there's an option right here, 2-column, photo left, text right. That's the one that I used for this page. And all you have to do is click it and add it. Swap this out with the image that you want, swap this text out, and just make sure that this has lead and a call to action. And then this will work to pop up that form on the page. Okay. Now you see how we capture the customer info. Perfect. Awesome. I'm glad you get it. Glad you got it. Cool. So that's it, guys. That's it's pretty simple. Just make sure that you're keeping it simple, right? So don't get hung up on the questions that you ask. Literally think about the basic questions that you know you're going to want to ask on the call, so that you've got more time to really get in greater depth on your call. I've even taken to starting to use these for existing clients, you guys. This is a really great way to, again, hey, what have you done since our last call? What are you wanting to work on now? What's your goal for the next quarter? What does your daily schedule look like, right? Think about those metrics. You can use the same thing to save you time with the clients you have currently, and most importantly, serve them better. Right? Because you're getting all of the redundancies out of the way with automation and having them fill that stuff out. And now you can zoom in and focus together, whether they're a lead or a client, on helping them really get to what they need to get to in their time with you. Because your time is valuable, because you have a gift. And you can share that with more people more effectively without running yourself ragged or taking up all of the hours in your week if you are working smarter. So I hope this has helped you today. We will be back here same time next week. And Merry Christmas to you as well. We look forward to seeing you then, where we talk a little bit more about our app. So yeah, thanks for being here, and have a great week and a great holiday. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.